As we continue our journey through the CSEC expository writing types, today we will focus on how to write a report by working through the June 2019 report question. So what is a report? A report is a formal, factual piece of writing that gives information about an event, a situation, an investigation, or an activity. Remember that your report must be written in an organized way to explain what happened, what was found out, or what is being recommended. There are several different types of reports. Some of the most common ones are your informational report. There is the investigative report, incident report, newspaper report, and eyewitness report, among others. The good news, guys, is that CXC is very unlikely to ask you to write an obscure or unfamiliar type of report in the exam. Based on past exams, the report is usually either an incident report or an eyewitness report. And that is why the guidance I'm providing today is specifically tailored to help you write these types of reports. Although, of course, it can easily be adapted for other types of reports. Now, a report is very different from your argumentative essay or your story. It must follow a formal structure and it must meet certain requirements. What are these requirements? Your report should be objective. It should be free from your personal bias, and it should not be influenced by emotions or opinions. It should be accurate and based strictly on verified facts and evidence. It should be comprehensive and include all the necessary and relevant details. And finally, it should be well organized. Your information should be structured logically and presented in a clear sequence. Think chronological order. When writing a report, guys, the 5 W's of who, what, where, when, and how should be your best friends, as these form the foundation of any strong report. These key questions help to ensure that your report covers all the essential details. You may not always need the how, but every report must answer who, what, when, and where. So what is CXC looking for in a good report? Here it is, guys, straight from the examiners themselves. Your answer will be assessed on how well you format the report, select relevant and complete information, on how well you organize and express the information in your report, and how you use grammar, sentence structure, vocabulary, spelling, and punctuation. And remember, your report must be in continuous prose. Here is a solid report writing format for you to follow. It includes all the essential elements of a strong report, and it even shows you where you should leave your spaces. So guys, try and commit this structure to memory. If you do, then you will be well on your way to confidently handling the report question should it come up in the exam. At the very top is the address of the reporter, followed by the date. Please note that this is the date you are sending off or you are writing the report. It's not the date of the incident. And by the way, this date can't come before the date of the incident. So be aware of that you're selecting a date after the incident. Then there's the name of your recipient. That's the person the report is going to. Title of recipient, the manager, the principal, whatever the title is. Address of the recipient. Then subject of the report. Now this should be brief. It shouldn't be a sentence. It should also be relevant to what the report is. There's your polite greeting. If you know the name of the person you're sending the report to, you'll use your name. So it could be Dear Mrs. Smith. If you don't, then it's usually dear sir, madam, or dear sir, if you know it's a man, dear madam. Okay. Then comes the body of the report. This is where all the substance will be placed. The first up is your introduction. Now, in your introduction, you should give a brief overview of the incident. So the recipient, when he reads that first paragraph or she reads that first paragraph, should have an idea of what happened, how it happened. Well, not necessarily how. Your 4 W's, the how might not necessarily come in there. So the when, the where, and the what and who should come out in that first paragraph. No details though. The details and explanations will be given in subsequent paragraphs. Remember, only factual details should be included. Then comes your complimentary closing. Usually this is in the form of yours truly followed by a comma, or kind regards, or sincerely yours, or some other variation. Then comes your signature of the reporter, name of the reporter, and title. Here's the report task from the June 2019 exam. Let's read through it carefully and see if we can pick out the key pieces of information necessary to write the report. It says, study the situation below, then complete the task that follows. Your Year 5 class of St. John's High School, located at Aston Bay, St. John, was carrying out an experiment in the science lab in the period before lunch on 30th April 2019. Your teacher, Mr. Daly, had to leave the room to meet a parent at the office. 2 students, Mary St. Rose and Andrew Campbell, rolled up sheets of paper around a ball and began to throw it at each other. Mary threw the ball and Andrew did not catch it. The ball hit a set of beakers on one of the desks next to them. The beakers fell and broke. When Mr. Daly returned to the science lab, he inquired about the cause of the incident, but no one responded. Mr. Daly then asked that the area be cleaned, and he informed the students that their parents would be contacted to pay for the broken beakers. After the class, he reported the matter to the school's principal, Mr. John Clark, who asked the class prefect to write a report of the incident to be submitted to him. Now imagine you are the class prefect, you are to write a report to the principal. Now let's see what we've got here. This is where we're going to be looking for our 5 W's. So let's see. We know it's your form and it's form 5. We know the name of the high school. I'm not going to read through it again, so you can follow on your screen. Your high school, we know that. We know where it's located. So this address will come in handy when you write your letter to the principal. When you write your report in the form of a letter, you'll need the address. Right? We know the what. An experiment was happening. We know the where, the specific location, which is in the science lab. We know the time and the date. It's there. The name of your teacher is Mr. Daly. Right? Some key things coming out here. He had to leave the room. Right? He went to the office to talk to a parent. Then some students decided that they were going to mess around. So Mary St. Rose and Andrew Campbell, right? They did their makeshift ball, threw it at each other. And unfortunately, Mary threw the ball. Andrew did not catch it. Some beakers ended up being broken. Mr. Daly came back. Right, so this is after the incident now. Mr. Daly came back. He wanted to know what was the cause of the incident. Nobody responded. He got the area cleaned, told students that their parents would be contacted to pay for the beakers. And then he reported the matter to the principal. We know the name of the principal, Mr. John Clark, and he is the one who's asked you to write a report of the incident. Okay, so guys, remember that this is where you're going to need your transitional phrases to write a smooth report. Think paragraphs, no bullet points. This is what CXC means when they say they need it in continuous prose. It should be normal writing in the form of paragraphs. Use transitional phrases to move smoothly from one idea or one sentence to another. Transitional phrases will include words and phrases like after that, meanwhile, afterwards. Okay, these help you to put your writing in a coherent way. And please remember, don't leave out any of the important information, and don't add your opinions, your thoughts, or your feelings, or your judgment, right? So we don't want you to be splitting any justice. Just tell what happened, straight plain facts, and it's in chronological order. What happened first? We don't want any flashbacks or any flash forwards, all right? It's what happened first, next, and these are transitional words as well. First, next, then, okay? Here's a sample report I've written based on the information we have been discussing. Now, as I read through, I want us to see if we can identify the key elements of a report, and also to check if I've included all the important details that we have been given. So I started out with my address. Now you're not given that, so you just be creative, make your address up. This is followed by the date, which should be after the incident, and the incident was on April 30. This was 3 days later. Then I have Mr. John Clark, who is the name of the recipient. Got his name, then his title, principal, address of the school. Then I moved on to the subject. Remember, I said that your subject should not be a full sentence, but it should give a good idea of what the report is about. In this case, report on the incident in the science laboratory. After that, it's my greeting. Dear Mr. Clark, I've put his name since I know it, followed by a comma and a space. In my first paragraph, I am looking to include at least 4 of my W's. Who, what, when, where. So your first paragraph is giving a brief description of what happened without going into details. I am writing to report on an incident that occurred during our science class in the laboratory on the 30th of April 2019, just before lunch. In the rest of our body, text body, we fill the details in. Remember, it needs to be in chronological order, the order in which things happened. Okay, so as I said, we're not putting in any extra details. We're not embellishing it. We're just giving the information as it happened. While the class was conducting an experiment under the supervision of Mr. Daly, he had to briefly leave the room to meet with a parent at the office. During his absence, 2 students, Mary St. Rose and Andrew Campbell, began playing by throwing a ball made up of rolled up sheets of paper. When Mary threw the ball and Andrew failed to catch it, it struck a desk where a set of beakers was placed. The beakers fell and broke as a result. When Mr. Daly returned, he asked the class about the cause of the incident, but no one responded. He instructed that the area be cleaned and informed us that the parents of the students responsible would be contacted to pay for the broken items. Now, at this point, I just want to remind you as well, guys, CXE has given you a lot of information. You have all the information to write the report, but please, 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 don't just pick it up and clunk it on your paper, okay? Try as much as possible to paraphrase it and make it your own information. Right, we have a final paragraph, just one sentence. This report is submitted at your request for documentation of the incident. Then we have our polite closing. Yours sincerely. You could have put something else. Have put yours sincerely, and then the name and position. Okay.